Previously on building Benny's movie park. Okay, so all of this is nice. What? And these are all off-grid as well. Oh my god. Are we beat? Okay. Bro, imagine if I had these just to put on here. You can change all the colors. Okay. Oh my god, no. This is gonna be such a pain in the ass to change. And gentlemen, welcome back to this brand new episode of building Benny's movie park in Planet Coaster. 2 videos ago, I reacted to the brand new Sorcery Pack DLC, which of course has completely ruined Hogwarts, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of go over the entire castle using the new pieces in today's episode. So that's exactly what we'll do. Yeah, there's not much else I can say. Let's get straight to it. In that video I talked about, we started here, and I think this is a decent spot to start again because, well, you can already tell a bunch of these pieces can be replaced. For example, this part right here. I can quite literally just get rid of all these ugly little spires. It's depressing, but unfortunately, this will just look so much better. This piece is exactly what we should have had back then, and now we do, so let's pop it in. And is that not 20 times better? Just this is already so much better, dude. I also think this kind of thing would be nice to add just for some slightly... Oh, some extra detail there. I love that. Or should we do that up here? Maybe this is a bit better. In fact, let's first just do one of these columns and then copy it over to the rest of them. Because as you can see, this is also very nice. And it definitely would be a good thing to add some different sort of stone textures. Because as you know, that creates some variety, which is very, very important for stuff like this. It just adds definition. So here you go. Oh, and that connects very nicely to it. Dude, this is, this is a game changer, actually. Look, and then now we can simply go over the whole thing using these new parts, and I'm pretty sure this already... Oh, look at that. These windows, by the way, I will keep the same because they look fine, and of course they actually sit within the frame, which we can't really do with the new pre-made windows, so I think that should be decent. Then next, the fairytale pack had some usable stuff as well in the form of these parts. If you saw that past video, you already know. Let's go ahead and match the colors of these. It has to be a little bit smaller and about this spot. Now, I do know there are those of you who thought I should just stick with what I had, and while I get what you mean, I don't agree. Of course, it is very cool I made all of this custom. It's definitely a lot more impressive, I guess, than using these new pieces. However, at the end of the day, I'm trying to get the best result. And let's be real, it's objectively better looking with the new pieces, even if it's not as original. I simply care more about how it actually looks. So that's why I decided to simply go over the whole thing again. I feel like that's absolutely justified, and besides, the old version lives on in old episodes, I guess. Because, dude, look at this. It's incredible. I'll duplicate all of that to the other side later. First, let's focus on this bad boy. And let's have a look at the fairytale pack again, because I'm pretty sure we had that exact part somewhere. Let's have a look. Aha! There you go. Only question is, can we change the colors? We can make it bigger, that's good. This is the exact same thing, dude. The roof has to be gray. Yes, that works. Well, let's put that exactly in the same spot, and then that is just so much better. It's just unfair. It is unfair. This one up here, it looks decent besides the roof. And I'm hoping maybe... Actually, why don't we just use the same thing again, except just for the roof part? Like this. Or might we just as well just use the whole thing? I quite like the tower part. I just hate this. I say that, but I mean this is, or even this. There's just so many better options now. It's actually crazy. I mean, this alone is so much more realistic. Oh yeah, this has to be it. That is really good. And I just realized, look at this. Just look. This is exactly what we needed. Oh. Actually, wait a second. Before I ruin the whole thing, let me just duplicate it first. Say I would use this part instead. And there's more. There's more, of course. Oh, and they all fit like an absolute glove. Oh, and look at that. Bro. This is, in fact, perfect for the bottom part. Here, look at that. Oh, that's gorgeous. Guys, my recording just stopped. Oh. In the meantime, what I did is I finished this tower, which now looks... Oh, this sucks. Oh, this sucks. Okay. I fixed this tower as well. It looks a bit fancier now. That's the same one as the one in front. I also fixed the back side with all these tiny little windows. And I replaced these windows. So that's what I did. I also created this entire thing, which is basically both the sorcery pack and the fairytale pack. At least all the stuff I actually need, so that I don't forget what exists. And I was just doing this part. I just popped in some of these fancier pieces over here, and I was working on this. And using these really cool curved pieces, I actually put this shape in place, which now looks a lot more accurate and just nicer in general. In particular, this big arch piece is absolutely great. I genuinely feel like screaming though, because all that recording just disappeared. But here we are. All this is starting to look a lot nicer for it. Maybe this should be a bit smaller though. Just a little bit more subtle. Okay, good. Look at this. I love it. Look, and the great thing about this whole part, I can just move this around and take it with me wherever I go, which just seems a lot more useful than how I've been doing it all this time. So for example, now let's see what we can do to this part of the building. I can just already tell this is just... Oi, 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 oi. What's especially bad are these pillars right here. This is way too plain. And well, right now we have much, much nicer looking ones in the form of this. And this is honestly making me tear up a little bit. This looks absolutely incredible. And dude, look at this. Ew, that's just... It's gorgeous. Or like a cylindrical one. And you know what I really love is these kind of pieces. Actually such a massive game changer. Look, just a few fancy pieces like this can make all the difference. And to be fair, this one as well, I haven't really put this on the castle yet, but we definitely should. Also from the fairytale pack, I believe. Look at how... Holy shit. And you guessed it, for these tiny parts, I also will replace them with the new ones. This is incredible. I absolutely love this. Look at that. And then my favorite thing over here is these roofs. The round ones are just not great. This is actually so much better. Copying all of that over. Amazing. But then looking at this, the biggest pain for me are these windows. This is horrendous, especially considering all the incredible fancy versions we now have. I think, for example, that this would be a nice alternative. So let's see if that looks good. And surprise, surprise, of course it does. Look at that. Wow, that's not just a little bit better. That is a lot better. That's just really sad. Up here, we have a very similar thing going on. These are just subpar. This time, I'm going to use this version instead. Just look at how much more defined this looks. And this, I might add, also fits like a glove. Better than that. There might be a point in this video. Again, I keep saying it, but I might cry. This is just looking really, really good. And you know what? These roofs might actually be fine, because I'm pretty sure none of these actually would fit, and these can't be scaled up. So, as you can tell, that's not quite the right size. So knowing that, I can actually sleep better at night, because I didn't do everything for nothing. Like, this was actually fine. Then there's the question what we are going to do with these windows. Now, I can already tell we're not going to do anything. This was the absolute worst of the worst of work in this area, especially the big windows too. Those look good though, especially because you can actually see through them. So all of the actual see-through windows I will keep as they are. It's just all the fake windows that need changing, such as this one. And unfortunately, those are absolutely all over the castle, which is just fantastic. However, there is a far more pressing matter, and that is this arch. We have various options. One of them is this one, which, to be fair, kind of does the job in one go. We can use this one, which I think is a bit closer already. We just need a few different layers of it, of course. As you can tell, that is pretty much exactly the right angle, which is depressing, because I took a long time building that arch, only for us to completely get rid of it right now. Because, as you can tell, this... Wow, that is super satisfying, actually. Then at the back here, we simply have to copy it over until right about here. And then I think we have that arch. Oh, that is... that is bloody lovely. Wait a minute, we have crystals. Wait a minute. It's time for the occasional detour, ladies and gentlemen, because I remember something. Over here, we need amber. Amber, of course, does not look like rocks. It looks like some sort of crystals. What? Hold on a minute. There you go. Let's get rid of all this bullshit and instead pop in some lovely amber. Just shoving this in the walls a little bit and the ground. This really does remind me of Theme Park Tycoon 2. I did this exact thing over there with those crystals. Of course, we can also make these a bit smaller for some smaller details. You also have really big ones, although I feel like that's a bit overkill, but let's try it nonetheless. Here you go, some big pieces. This is really cool though. I really like this. So much better. Yep, okay, so that was the quick detour. Now back to Hogwarts. To be fair, some of these walls, I'm not sure you're ever going to see these up close because I'm not sure if there's going to be path here. Most of these windows are see-through windows, so I'll just keep those the same as they are. And to be fair, besides the stick-on windows, all of this looks decent. However, wait a sec. Do we not have something better for that? Oh, we have multiple things actually. Let's see which one of these fits the nicest. I feel like this could fit, I think. Maybe a little bit smaller. And then aligning it, changing the colors too, making it a bit more brownish. This looks really good. Yeah, that is a big upgrade. Let's actually get rid of all this and instead shove this in place. And that we then need 1, 2, 3, 8 times in total. And looking at these, there are so many of those fake windows on it. Everything that needs to be replaced. And all of this also would have been so much nicer using the fancy pillars we now have. But I feel like that's just a bit too much. Like changing all of that, I really wish I had this before because it would have looked better. It would have ended up looking better because I'm not even including all the on-grid pieces, all the pieces that have all the fancy edges, all the details you'd want initially. I'm never going to replace all of that. So it's never going to be as good as it could have been if I built it today, which is really sad. Of course, I do really like how this looks now already. That's a lot better. I feel like we're gonna have to walk through it from first-person perspective and look at what you actually see. However, as you can tell, the interior is completely empty still. That's a problem for later. And so is most of the backside. It's really not that taken care of yet. I was going to later. And that, I guess, is a good thing. Also, this is going to need some work. This is so much more work than I hoped. Oh. Anyway, let's first focus on the stuff that stands out the most, such as the bridge. Just the most iconic parts, I guess. The things you really look at the most. Just that extra tiny bit of detail. The fancier looking edges, like I've done in the Egypt area a lot. By the way, in between, if you would like to see these videos early, you can consider becoming a member. For just €2 a month, you can get early access to videos. When I upload them, you can instantly watch them instead of having to wait a week or two. Simply click the join button and you're ready to go. By the way, looking at this arch just now, I realized this probably can use the same part. Look, what if we just grab it once again, make that really nice and big, and then push it in far enough to hide that texture, but keep the nice trim at the front. That's actually the exact right shape. Dude, that's crazy. But look at how good that looks. Still, it's too bad we can't get the sun on this. At least not fully. I'll finish this off using 2 of these pillars on the sides as well. Not sure if it's super accurate, but I do like the way that looks. So, yeah, much better already. The whole interior here for the station, or the station in general, is completely bare. We still need to actually decorate that. So no need to worry about that now. What I do think we should have a look at is, of course, the Great Hall. Because we also have a bunch of new decorative pieces. And one in particular is candles. Let's get rid of all these lanterns and replace them with this kind of thing. Has to be a bit smaller though, like just regular table candles, and just pop these in place. How about that? That seems to fit this theme a lot better if you ask me. There you go. Yes. I suppose let's just pop these on all of the tables we have, as well as the big table on the front here. Maybe alongside some of these slightly taller ones. I mean, that is very tall. Then before taking care of the rest of the tables, which I might add looks horrendous actually. Why are these blue? I also noticed, of course, the gargoyles. I do remember seeing a bunch of new ones. Let's go back to our plaque and see what we've got. This is a lot more accurate. Still not perfect, but a lot more accurate. And I'm thinking maybe this one as well. Let's just grab them both. So we have the ones on top, which I don't even know what the hell this is. For those, I think we can use the dragon head. Let's have a look if this works. First of all, it's important to know if we can even change the color at all. not fully, but I suppose this is good enough. I really don't like how some of these pieces you just can't really control in terms of color. Like, you can sort of change it, but not as much as you'd want. It's kind of weird, but still, I do think this is a lot better. Let's pop the feet onto that edge, like this. And then we simply have to get rid of all the old stuff and replace it with that new one. That's actually a lot better, yeah. Identical thing, of course, on the other side, like so. And then that is all fixed. And to be fair, you don't even really see it. But it's nice to know that it's there now. Then there's the ones with the dragon heads, and I am pretty sure that this is much better. Still, of course, not perfect, but look at that. At least it's got the wings and everything. Let's see. Actually, oh, wait, that fits really well. Wait. Oh my god, that fits perfectly, actually. It's even holding... Wait a minute. Look, if we simply go and put this in his hands, this has to be a little bit low. Oh, that's too bad. However, we've gotten a nicer looking one in the meantime. This is much nicer. Oh, that is... That's great. Let's delete all the old ones and replace them with the new one. Because, holy crap, this is great. Yes, this feels... much better. It's just right. Then for some slightly smaller decorations, let's go and put some stuff on this table here. For example, this book. Now I know it's actually supposed to be a wall sign, but it looks like a book, so I'll use it as a book. There you go. 2, in fact. I just wish we had some more really tiny elements, such as drinking glasses or plates, stuff like that. The only extra thing we've got are some of these potions, and we can, of course, change the colors. Actually, wait, that is pretty good. It does look very nice and Harry Potter-ish. That is for sure. So I suppose we could add some of these on the tables as well. I'm not sure. It's still not ideal, of course, but I don't know what these drinking glasses are. Like, seriously, what the hell was I thinking? What is that? Why don't I go and try something a little more advanced using, of course, some primitives? Look, we'll just kind of make like a medieval beaker, something like this, I guess. I don't even know. It's better, I suppose. It's just still not great. But there's not many other options. So let's smack a bunch of these on here then. Also, I think we should look at the animatronics. This, even though it's not maybe super relevant or accurate, could be a nice thing to put somewhere here for decoration. First, I would like to try out this stuff. Do we have one in a more neutral position? These are all very aggressive. Oh, wait a minute. We have static. We have a bunch of different things. In that case, let's just pop one of these bad boys over here and simply set that to, I think, ambient 3. So he's just kind of standing there, maybe. And this is fun, I think. Just a little something extra. We may as well just put a few, just so it feels a bit more alive. Here you go. Is that nice? It's tricky because I feel like this just isn't finished yet, but I shouldn't add new stuff. It's mostly just updating what is here. Everything else, of course, comes at a later point. What I do think we should absolutely change is the benches and lampposts, because I remember seeing a very nice looking bench and a very nice trash can for that matter. Look at that. That is just... the difference is insane. So yeah, let's first delete all of these existing parts and replace it with the new fancy stuff. For example, around this edge, we want to have a few of these benches. Where we have benches, we need trash cans. And of course, the occasional lamppost. Here you go. And that we want to have symmetrical on the other side. And some of those over here. And then unfortunately up here, we have the exact same problem. Let's get rid of all these and put the fancy ones back in. I really like this. This looks 20 times better. It's just much more magical for some reason. It's much more coherent. Look at that. The benches over here, I think I'll keep because they are nice benches. They look fine. I think even the lampposts fit fine for this part of the area. So I think I'll just keep it like this. Of course, there's all the roofs. Oh, just look. This is exactly... That's exactly that same thing, bro. Oh, but you know what? I don't think I'm gonna change this. It's that would just be too much work. Like, there's a point where it stops being worth it. Although it would, of course, just be very nice. The angle isn't identical, by the way. It's slightly different, as you can tell. The texture is just so much better. You know what? I think I'll just keep this as it is. Besides, some of this kind of stuff. I do really like the one I made. These are also very good looking, especially the round ones. So maybe I can replace some of them. Not all, but some. Only question is, which ones? Maybe this one right here. This can definitely go. Pop in a regular wall and then making this a bit bigger and just putting that in place. And we can also use some of these shop awnings to put on the top and bottom, maybe like this. Is that nice? That is nice. Look, it's really the kind of variety that we need, most of all. It's not that mine are bad, it's just we need different ones. For example, this one, I quite like that actually. But this, I reckon we can also replace with a new looking one. I really do love that. Good stuff. I am noticing in general, everything I'm seeing today, I thought it was more detailed. I thought it was better. I also thought it was more finished than it is because, for example, all of these windows are still empty. There's nothing inside. I'm kind of underwhelmed by this. Like, we can definitely add more detail to it. I feel like just the whole Harry Potter area is not even close, besides the parts that are actually not finished. Like, even the parts I thought aren't really that great. Was this too ambitious? I'm pretty sure it was. But we still have to finish it at some point. And I do still think those live streams are a good idea. It's just so chaotic going from one thing to another. There's no real nice structure to it. And so I think live streams are the greatest solution for that. Because I keep coming up with new ideas and new details to put in. So, yeah. This, however, does look objectively better. Like, I love the definition it's got now. All these fancy edges, all the cool pillar designs, and just it just looks really good. Also, this window fits in perfectly in that little triangle. It's great stuff. It is great. Imagine if I had this. Imagine if I had it. Anyway, some things that are very easy to replace are these kind of towers. Because, well, that is basically this. You can tell it overlapping, it's identical. The only difference is the roof isn't as pointy, but is that really important? I don't think so. I think this is just, it just looks better. Besides maybe those windows. We just slap this on to hide the windows. Oh, that is perfect. Then there is another one right here. Same thing. Let's just copy this one, in fact. Put that exactly on the corner and pop it in. So good. So good. And even the one on the corner here, I'll upgrade using the new windows and pieces. Here you go. What an absolute joy this is. And of course, these towers are filled with the outdated ones, the small ones. So let's just replace all of them. Let's not make it harder than it needs to be. Here you go. 1, 2, and 3. This is nice, but it's a lot of work. That is for sure. I do think that for today, that is it. I'm not sure when the live streams will begin. Just have to kind of see how that's gonna go. But yeah, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell not to miss a single future video, and then I hope I'll see you in the next one.